9 common tango habits. We as dancers, as we develop, we tend to develop certain ways of dancing, certain ways of accessing the dance, that's the only way that X, Y, and Z can occur. What do I mean by that? That we'll only invoke a turn to the open side of the embrace, that we'll only invoke an Argentine cross, that we'll only invoke a certain parallel system walk, and that's it. That's the only way that we can dance. And over time, this becomes rote behavior in us. Now, there are certain pluses and minuses to this. The plus is that it makes us feel very comfortable that X, Y, and that we can dance. The minus is that it becomes a habit or rote that you can quite literally, I'm not kidding when I say this, you can quite literally set your watch by it. That there are certain leads that, that when they hear X, Y, and Z in a piece of music, they're going to dance ABC. Certain followers, when they get with certain leads, they're only going to dance that specific way. This is habit or habitual dancing. Is this desirable? Well, it depends on your point of view. Do you want to continue to dance the same way? Hey, knock yourself out. If that's what you're looking for, hey, baby, then you can stop listening right here. However, most of us, on the other hand, would actually like to create a little bit of nuance, a little bit of variance in our dance, and that's ideally what we're looking for. Now, to be fair, most people, when they hear habit or habitual dance, the common line of reasoning that is given to most people in order to break their habits is that if we only change the location of X, Y, and Z, or of the dancer, then that should break our habit, right? Well, that's not necessarily the case here. The logic is that, if I go to a different milonga or if I change cities, then magically I will change all of my habits because I'm dancing with different people. Wrong. Better thinking is that, in case you were unclear, no matter what happens, you're still the same dancer, which means you're going to invoke those same lines of reasoning over and over and over again. So much so that 5 tandas in, most of the room has got your number. Regardless of whether or not you're leading or following, it does not matter. This is how you are going to dance. Now, is this desirable? Answer, well, again, it depends on your point of view. The Magic Miles Tango's way of thinking about things, no, it's not desirable. You, on the other hand, you may have a completely different line of reasoning. I'm going to go with the Miles Tango's line of reasoning, which says not so much with that. All right, so these are 9 common ideas that by themselves are innocuous, meaning that simply because I change one of these things is not going to magically change the content of my dance. Not at all. As a matter of fact, more than likely nothing will happen. However, if you stack them on top of one another, it will not only change the quality of your dance, but more importantly, how you think about the dance, i.e. how you access it. And that's ideally what we're looking for. It creates options and opportunities that you wouldn't ordinarily think of. And that, believe it or not, that point right there is the point of growth that we're looking for. All right, this video will not talk about technique. For technique, the things that I will mention, please, for the love of God, go look at your Tango Topics technique library. That video has 400 videos sitting there. Please, for the love of God, go look at them. All right, having said that, item number 1 on this list. Now, the moment that I show you this, you're going to say to yourself, Miles, I don't see anything wrong with this, and that's because there's nothing wrong with it. Remember, this is habit that we're talking about. I'm going to do most of this stuff that you're about to see from Open Embrace for a couple of reasons. One is so that you can actually see it. So here's item number 1 on the list. Miles, there's nothing wrong with that. You're right. I pointed out to you, there's nothing wrong with that, except for the fact that I didn't actually lead that. The follower did that all by their lonesome. What? Yeah. Why? Here's the why. So my first step was outside partner. The follower hears that as, we're stepping outside partner. That's an Argentine cross. I know it. I could breathe. I know it to my core, to my very being. And they'd be right. They'd be absolutely 100% right, unless, of course, they're dancing with Mr. Magic Miles, which would mean this idea. I might want to step outside partner. No, I want to go over here. No, I want to go over here. There's another way to accomplish this goal, and that means to start to play with another way of engaging an Argentine cross, or more importantly, stepping outside partner. Now, mind you, there's nothing wrong with stepping outside partner. I want to get that into your head. There's nothing wrong with that. However, the default behavior for most leads and most followers is that we're immediately going into an Argentine cross, and that's not necessarily the case. I could invoke another way of walking or another idea there, and one of those ideas could be an outside snake walk. That's just one idea, just one possibility, and it's to get you outside of this idea that we're going to engage in Argentine cross. And again, the follower hears this as Argentine cross. We will come back to this in just a little bit, why this is, shall we say, default behavior. All right, so that's item number 1 on this list, which is to step outside partner, which will invariably lead to an Argentine cross. Item number 2 on this list, and that's always and only turning to the open side of the embrace. Yes? Now, to be fair, most people, when they hear the word turn, they only think X, Y, and Z.